I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ghetto. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ratchet. Ratchet hair, ratchet clothes, ratchet walk, ratchet talk. Ratchet sisters sleep with ratchet misters, and ratchet kids are born by default. The only alt a ratchet creates is usually on sidewalks outlined in chalk. The ghetto is no longer a neighborhood. We've embraced it as a culture. We give it awards, promote its appearance, then we monetize it and call it art like it's a sculpture. But the idea of success has been dumbed down and degraded. What's the use of chanting? Started from the bottom, now we hear if your mind still hadn't made it. I asked the man in the mirror a question, but the answer I received felt more like a confession. How can we keep complaining about the platforms of stupidity if these platforms are being withheld by us? I said the platforms are being empowered by us, and I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being a hoe. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ghetto. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ratchet. Ratchet mind, ratchet view, ratchet rags all over you, ratchet town, ratchet city, ratchet government too. And this beautiful lie has become popular because nowadays don't nobody want to hear the ratchet truth, how public schools continue to decline. And I thought wasn't no child supposed to be left behind. But why should the system be crystal clear when these ratchet parents don't even want to hear? My granddaddy used to own his cab company. I said my grandmama used to sell the food she made, because even back then they were smart enough to understand without a college degree they could still make it on an honorable trade. But kids who can't even read today can become millionaires before they leave the 6th grade. And every time we download this foolishness, these artists get paid even more to write it, and we send a message to the entertainment industry to keep producing more ratchet rubbish just like it. And I find it clever that a man can write raps, memorize them, and flow with, but you should be embarrassed if you were a grown man and the content of your music is so simple that a 3rd grader could have wrote it. I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being no thug. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being a hoe. I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being ratchet. Ratchet house, ratchet car. To be around it so much, you don't even realize how ratchet you are. And we grow up struggle when we're poor, but that's why we work so hard to be respected. But just because I come from the hood don't mean I have to project it. And quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed how our kids enter society unequipped, because nowadays we're not concerned with issues anymore. All we care about is who Jason Collins is sleeping with, totally distracted from the devices of the enemy to take the attention of the real weapons formed against me. The first step in tearing a man down is to strip him of his own identity. So they pay our kids millions of dollars to create that ignorance and call it art, when there aren't even enough well-paying jobs in this state for kids who are actually academically smart, which sends a message to the ones who lack it. Why learn how to read to be successful if I can make more money by just being ratchet? I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being ratchet. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being a hoe. I said, I don't see nothing so beautiful about being ratchet. Don't end up on Maury Povich or standing in the courtroom in front Judge Hatchet. Thought you were beautiful because you twerked it and let him slap it. Keep taking these Christmas gifts from these cats knowing they don't rap it. And that's why you got a front row seat. Your kids got front row seats watching you practice how your hips ain't good for nothing but rotating on a man's axis. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being a hoe. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ratchet. I said, I don't see nothing so beautiful about being a hood rat. I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being ratchet. To be completely misled and spiritually unfed, obese from the junk food the entertainment industry fed. A man ain't no king just because that's the size of the mattress on his bed. Hell, I know some men who ain't stable, and I know some queens who ought to still be sleeping in somebody's cradle. What's the use of a young girl becoming virtuous? She gets more attention by being ratchet, like the rat that stole daddy away from us with full knowledge of the family she was tearing apart, but she didn't care because a zombie ain't got no heart. I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being a hoe. I said, I don't see nothing so tight about being no thug. I said, I don't see nothing so sexy about being ratchet. That's a virus on society, and I, for one, ain't trying to catch it, because at the end of the day, when a gun is pointed at your head by some kid who's obviously a ratchet and misled, ain't no sense in blaming the government. blaming the white man or the media. We can look in the mirror and blame ourselves, because this is the generation that we have bred.